Hello. Yes, Vidya ma'am.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, very good morning. Share your screen.
Ma'am, it's it actually yet time. Yeah, I can share still. Seven.
First slides.
Okay.
Yeah, it's visible. Okay.
Yeah, I can start or wait till 8 o'clock to
Wait,
join.
wait. 5 minutes wait.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Can you start?
Yes, yes. Good morning, students. I hope you are doing well. As you can see, today we are going to do English and figures of speech. Figure of speech is a colorful way of expressing one's idea in an extraordinary manner, thereby creating a better impact. If you have seen the previous classes, I have taught few figure of speech, and I had told you that time also figure of speech is a way of writing some lines or using lines to create better impact by the poet and poetess. It is found in the poem passage, and questions are asked regarding it in the exams. And why the poet or poetess uses such figure of speech? Because it's a colorful way to create one's idea. It's in extraordinary manner. Different figure of speech have different impact. Let's see the different figure of speech. Few which we had covered, we will see, we will do revision if we get time today. But the new one we will see now. The first one which we are going to see is hyperbole. A hyperbole is an exaggeration or overstatement for the sake of making a greater impression. Something which is exaggerated, overstatement, something which poet wants you to know how much deep pain or how much that things have affected the person or that poem in that characters. So we will get to know. We also do in our daily life these things. We use hyperboles. How? You will see now. When I will give examples, you will come to know how we use such lines to show our emotions, greater impression to create. See, first line, these are the famous lines of the poet Shakespeare. He was a great writer poet. So here he is telling the first example, all the perfume of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. That means this hand, if all the perfumes of Arabia is used, it's famous for the different perfume, then also it will not smell sweet. This is an exaggeration. Smelling sweet, if we apply something, we wash our hand also with a smelling soap, it will smell, but it wants to show that it is so much done wrong, or that hands are been so much wrong or so much dirty or so much, so that perfume is not going to affect. Oh Hamlet, I do have cleft my heart in twain. See, here also it is a Hamlet writing work of the Shakespeare and all. He has wrote such things that it gives exaggeration. If the river were dry, I am able to fill it with my tears. With tears. See, it is exaggeration. It's a hyperbole. Like I am very, very, very sad and I want to cry. But I can't cry and make a river. So in Hindi also you say, "Itna roya ki samundar bana diya." So someone can cry that much? No. But to show that pain, so ye exaggeration use kiya gaya. Okay, I loved Olafia. 40,000 brothers could not with all their quality of love make up the sum. See, 40,000 brothers. I am so hungry. I could eat a horse. You can't be so hungry that you can eat that much. But it shows that you can eat इतनी भूख लगी है कि मैं पूरा ये खा जाऊंगा. It's not like that. We can't eat that much, but to show, like हम बोलते हैं ना हिंदी में भी से पेट में चूहे कूद रहे, इतनी भूख लगी है. तो असली में चूहे नहीं कूद रहे. That is wrong. मतलब it is literally there are not mouse or mice in your stomach, but to exaggerate to your mother, I am so hungry, your mummy give me food, I am so hungry. So ऐसे बोलने का जब मेरे पेट में चूहे कूद रहे, ये हो रहा है, तो हम इसका मतलब होता है कि कितनी भूख लगी है. Okay, so ये exaggeration होता है, hyperbole. So this is hyperbole. See, your poor child was so hungry that he could devour a horse. Again, it is exaggeration. The child can't eat that much, but that poor child must have not got the food. Secret travels faster than the speed of light. Speed of light is, in science, you must have done physics and all in that part, that light travels with a great speed. But secret means जो हम दूसरों को बताते हैं, हम बोलते हैं बोलना मत, और ऐसे तो पता चलता है कि लोगों ने बोल दिया. It travels faster than light, speed of light. This is exaggeration. That means people say the things. With a heart of stone, he was always rude. See here also, one's heart cannot be of a stone, लेकिन वो that person is so rude, वो आदमी बहुत, और वो person बहुत rude है तो उसका दिल पत्थर का है, हम बोलते हैं, लेकिन दिल पत्थर का नहीं होता. everyone knows that. but वो impact देने के लिए कि कैसा इंसान है वो, right? So this is what hyperbole, exaggerating. Like you say, I have looked every nook and corner. This example I am giving, you can hear it. It is not written here, but I am giving you more examples so you will get better idea. See, I have looked every nook and corner to search for my shirt. Like you are searching for your things, shirt or a dress or your book. So you are not getting it. तुम ढूंढ रहे हो घर में, लेकिन मिल नहीं रहा है. कहाँ ढूंढ रहे हो? घर में. कहाँ? अपने घर में सिर्फ. लेकिन आप क्या बोल रहे हो? आई हैव लुक एवरी नुक एंड कॉर्नर ऑफ वर्ल्ड, आई एम नॉट गेटिंग. तो आप बहुत बोर हो जाते हो, ढूंढ के थक जाते हो, तो आपकी मम्मी को बोलते हो ढूंढने. तो यू विल से ढूंढा, योर मम्मी विल से यू हैव सर्च, यू विल से आई हैव सर्च एवरी नुक एंड कॉर्नर ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. मीन्स पूरी दुनिया ढूंढ ली, और दुनिया नहीं ढूंढ रहे हो, सिर्फ घर में कबॉट में ढूंढ रहे हो. तो आप एग्जैगरेट कर रहे हो दिखाने को कि how much you have done that. So that is hyperbole. Now you must have got it. What is hyperbole? In the above example, you find that the statement are exaggerated version of what the sentence intend to convey. Okay, hyperbole is a figure of speech wherein statement or claims are highly exaggerated for better poetic effect. It is not jhoot bolna. See, it is not jhoot bolna exactly. It's not lying. It's like creating a better impact. Okay, it's not lying. It's not झूठ बोला है, कुछ किया नहीं और झूठ बोल. It's not झूठ बोलना. It's an exaggeration. This shopping cost her a fortune. She must have shopped so much. Shopping इतनी की है कि fortune means her all the wealth and all. But that much she must have not done. But she had done lot. The green carpet covers the length and breadth of earth. See the last line, pick one. The green carpet covers the length and breadth of earth. You know how big, huge earth is. One of the huge planet it is where we reside. Okay, so it has a greenery means trees and all. So it is covered with water also and other things of the desert, and but to show how much green it is, so green carpet is covered the earth length and breadth. It's exaggerating like that. Okay, so hyperbole is nothing but saying the thing which are true but exaggerating them to show the impact. Like they are not that much true, but to show the impact. Like I'm crying, I'm sad, but I'm not that. I can't cry that much that I can make a ocean or a river flow. But to show my pain, I'm telling that. Okay, so poet writes such lines and uses that poetic device, this figure of speech, to make a greater impact. Okay, now we will see the next one. You can see on your screen onomatopoeia. Please try to read. Okay, children, you should also read. So reading will make you know better. You can hear it, you can see. Okay, in onomatopoeia, sound suggests meaning or sense. Here the sounds are used. The words are such that they are sound. When we use that or say that word, we make a sound. We create a sound. The book fell on the table with a loud thump. See, thump. That word thump is making a sound. Okay, the cat mewed for some milk. Okay, cat mewed. The wolf howled in the night. Silence your cell phone so that it does not beep during the movie. Beep, that word beep, we are making sound. You also say it. See, when I am reading the sentence, you also read. See, you will make a sound, beep, like that. Someone is knocking on the door, knock, knock. See, when we say knock, knock, knocking, we make a sound from our mouth. So this is onomatopoeia, using the sound that suggests or gives a meaning. Okay. You will come across some poems from your childhood also, which will tell you you have used this. I mean, you are used to this sound poem and this onomatopoeia, like ding dong bell pushes in the well. See, ding dong. When you say ding dong, you're making a sound. It is spelling also, we write same way. Now see the further examples. Chuck, chuck, chuck when the train. See that chuck, chuck when the train starts. The bell went ding dong. See, just now I said you ding dong. And the third one is tring. See, we are making sound. Spelling is there, Tring. It has spelling also. But we make a sound also when we read. You also read and see tring, went the alarm, and up came the sun. So the alarm went today, you got up for the lesson, for the class. So you had kept the alarm. So alarm went tring. See, we have now different music alarm, but tring is the normal alarm. Tring went the alarm and up came the sun. In the above example, we find that there are words which intimate sounds, thereby creating a better poetic effect. See, these all things, figure of speech, come in poems, not in the chapters. Chapters are different than poems. So these lines which are used, this sound, figure of speech, onomatopoeia, in the poetic, to create a poetic effect. Onomatopoeia is a figure of speech wherein word used in the sentence intimate the sound to create a better poetic effect. See now the other examples. Hissing and panting, the snake came out. That snake makes noise, hissing noise. If you've seen the snake videos or in front of your eyes with a safe distance, you have seen snake. So that hissing sound it makes. So we are saying hissing. See, we are making sound from our mouth also, and spelling is also there. Hiss, hiss, hissing, hissing, continuous tense, hissing. Cock-a-doodle-doo, went the rooster. We say na kukudu and all that. See, we make that sound. Rooster makes that morning, at the morning when he gets up. So he makes that sound. Right? So these are sound words for better poetic effect, for creating that effect in reader's mind. We will read poem, will like it. Like for small children, it was ding dong bell. So children used to hear that bell sound, ding dong. So that childhood poem you must have remembered now. So this is the second one today we have done. After hyperbole, we have done this onomatopoeia. This is the second figure of speech of today's lesson. Please remember them. I have told you sometime what happens, two figure of speech also comes in a one line. So you can answer one of it. Or if specific figure of speech is only asked, then you have to select that line only. Okay, from the passage. Passage is given of the poem. Under that question comes. Now we are going to see the next one, antithesis. Now, in antithesis, one idea or word is set against the other to secure an effective contrast by balancing. There is a balance created in antithesis by using the opposite ideas. It's an easy one. See, all the figure of speech are easy if you understand them. Okay, and I have selected which are repeated in exam. I mean, like we will do revision in time is there today if we cover up this one. So you will see all the figure of speeches which are easy and which they occur, they come in the exam. I have selected that. Few more we will be doing in the further class. So today I am doing the few which are present in the poem passages, like antithesis. This one word or idea set against another one. It's very easy if you see to recognize this antithesis. Okay, how? See, Example, to err is human, forgive is divine. That means to make two opposite things are there. To make a mistake is a human nature, and to forgive is a divine thing. God does it. Okay. Error, forgiveness. Mistake, forgiveness. United we stand, divided we fall. See, these you have read this proverb lots of time. Lots of stories are there. Morals with united we stand, divided we fall. Unity का जो ये है वो हम एकता में ताकत है. जैसे एक साथ रहेंगे तो हम साथ रहेंगे, अलग अलग हो जाएंगे तो गिर जाएंगे. तो यूनाइटेड डिवाइडेड, ये स्टैंड एंड फॉल, दिस आर ऑपोजिट वर्ड इन सेम लाइन. सी, सेम प्रोवर्ब में ये ऑपोजिट है. वो एंटीथीसिस होता है कि मैन प्रपोसेस, गॉड डिस्पोसेस. Give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. This is also proverb, like listen to everyone, but advice to few, like voice and ear. See, two different thing is there. Every and few, right? So here opposite word, like I will say, don't go in and out of the classroom. In and out. You can see there are ups and downs in the life. Ups and down. तो ये ऑपोजिट वर्ड एक साथ आए हैं वो लाइन में. अप एंड डाउन ऑपोजिट है, इन एंड आउट ऑपोजिट है. ओके, यूनाइटेड एंड डिवाइडेड आर ऑपोजिट वर्ड्स बट सेम लाइन में आए हैं टू गिव अ मोर effective contrast by balancing it. Okay, so here the opposite words are in one line. More we will see example. You may consider it a small gesture, but for me it a huge compromise. See, small and huge. Small and huge are opposite. Patience, second one I am reading. Please, you also read. Patience is bitter with the fruit so sweet. Sweet and bitter. These are opposite words, right? So these have come in one line. Challenge your vices, strengthen your virtues. See, wise is the wrong thing which we have to challenge it, we have to remove them, and what we have to strengthen our virtues, good things. So bad things we have to remove them, challenging them, and good things we have to do, so we will become virtuous person. So opposite words are there, giving you some lesson, giving you some ideas for better impact. Okay, like she had tears in her eyes but smile on her lips, which I am giving you this example. That means उसकी आंखों में आंसू थे लेकिन होठों पे हंसी थी. See, हंसना रोना, this is opposite, but in one line I have told you. Okay, I have made this line to make you understand this example, so you will understand this antithesis better. In the above example, we find that opposite idea conveyed in the same line. See, to create a better poetic effect. Antithesis is a figure of speech wherein opposite ideas are expressed in the same line to convey a better poetic effect. So opposite ideas are there. So here also you can see speech is silver, but silence is golden. This all proverbs you must have wrote on your green board in the classroom. When you start your class, you go in the school, you write on the board, or you give proverb to teacher, she writes on the board for you. So you write date and you start your day that way with a good thought. So these are the good thought which you must have read in your school also. I have seen in our schools so many good sayings are above the walls and all, so much decorated things. You should see up and read them. Save water, many things like that. And these proverbs are also there. So you, when you enter your school, when you'll go again in your school, when this all thing pandemic will go, just try to read this all beautiful lines written on your school walls. So this is what is are the antithesis also. There will be different figure of speech. If you have learned today, you will recognize them. Speech is silver, but silence is golden. See, speech and silence, speaking and keeping quiet, oppositing. Man proposes and God disposes. Again, opposite. So antithesis also you must have understood. Now we are going to go for the next one. Now this is the one of the figure of speech which you can recognize very easily again, because it has exclamatory mark. If you'll see the sentences on your screen, you can see at the end, instead of full stop, there is a line and a dot. Okay, if such line comes in your poem, so without hesitation or doubt, you will pick up that line and write is the exclamation figure of speech, because it is has a clue of that exclamatory mark. Let me read few examples for you. What a great piece of art he created. How tragic was the accident. What a heinous act of crime that was. See, now you will see the sentence start with question. What, how, what. But it's not a question. It's an exclamation, exclamatory sentence. Okay, where we are not asking question. It's a intense emotion expressed. Okay, it tells you how bad it is. See how tragic was the accident. We all must be knowing, but we are telling each other to show कितना बुरा था वो accident. वो पूछ नहीं रहे हम कितना बुरा था बताओ जरा. See, I'm telling you in other language, I'm explaining you in Hindi to make you know better. See, कितना बुरा था, इतना बुरा था, वो नहीं जानना है. हम बोल रहे कितना बुरा था ना वो, ऐसा समझ रहे हो आप. तो यहाँ क्वेश्चन नहीं है, इट्स अ सडन एक्सप्रेशन, वी आर फीलिंग दैट. सो हाउ ट्रेजिक वाज द एक्सीडेंट. और यू हैव डन seen a great piece of art, a beautiful painting, or a performance of an artist. So it was a great piece of art he created. That means he must have sculptured some ideal. Now Lord Ganesha's festival went. There were so beautiful ideals. So one artist must have created that great piece. Okay, so that way when we see, we say what a great piece of art it was he created. Such a beautiful ideal. So that way we know it is good, but we are expressing. So last में question mark नहीं है. There is no question mark. There is a exclamatory mark. So this figure of speech is also very easy to recognize. Okay, in the above examples, we find that intense emotions are expressed using the exclamatory form in order to create a better poetic effect and attract the reader's attention to the point made. So we are reading the poem. We are reader. So poet have used it purposely to make a point, to attract our attention. Okay, so to play with our emotion. What are poem? Poems are emotions, right? What thinking, emotions, which poet have jot down in the words. See, it's not easy to write poem. We all have lots of emotion, but to make it in a form of words, so a skilled person does. So poet and poetess, writers have that skill of putting our emotion into words. So exclamation is a figure of speech wherein exclamatory form of sentence is used to convey intense emotion with better impact, thereby creating a better poetic effect. So to create a better poetic effect, this figure of speech, exclamatory form of sentences, like kind of sentences you must have done in the grammar part, earlier standards also, kinds of sentences are the topic which must have been covered with you. So in that exclamatory sentence are there. So this exclamatory sentence, if they come in the poem, they become exclamation figure of speech. So they are very easy to recognize. So what is its clue? It has an exclamatory mark. See the other examples also. How sweetly the moon glides across the dark clouds. We all have seen it, and it is beautiful. We are observing it, or we are looking at it. Or dark clouds are gliding by the moon. We don't want to ask question. We want to express that feeling. how sweetly the moon glides across the dark clouds. I mean, moon is gliding by. We seem that moon is moving behind the dark clouds. So how noble was her deed? She must have done very good deed. कुछ अच्छा काम किया होगा, नोबल काम. तो हमें मालूम है क्या किया. तो हमें क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछना है, हमें बताना है, एक्सप्रेस करना है. तो how noble was her deed, and the explanatory mark comes at the end, not a full stop, not a question mark. So exclamation figure of speech is also very easy to recognize. It has a exclamatory mark as well. A punctuation exclamatory mark is like a exclamatory sentence which is occurred, which come into poem passages. Okay. So we have covered up hyperbole, onomatopoeia, antithesis, and now we have covered exclamation. Okay. Now we will see the further one, interrogation. See, interrogation is again one of the kind of sentences which comes in the chapter lines, but same line if it comes in the poem. So it becomes interrogatory or interrogation figure of speech. But again, this is very easy to recognize. It has a question mark, WH or yes, no question, and it has a question mark at the end. But this question are different than the other question we ask. Let's see how, why this question are different. Do we need here also answer of these questions? Like we generally ask question, I will ask question, how are you children? How much your studies going on? Where you stay? Like that few questions we keep asking in conversation. Questions occur kind in sentences, interrogative sentence comes, but we need answer for that. Like yes, no question also. Is it raining today? No, yes. You will see out of the house and window and see if it is raining or not. You will answer me, yes teacher, no teacher. Okay. बारिश हो रही है क्या आज? हाँ नहीं. ये क्वेश्चन हम आंसर के लिए पूछते हैं. बट इंट्रोगेशन जो फिगर ऑफ स्पीच है उसमें हम क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं. पोएट क्वेश्चन डाला रहता है, पोएट ने लिखा है वहां, पोएटेस ने लिखा है, बट इट इज नॉट फॉर आस्किंग अस आंसर. Okay, but it is very easy to recognize. There question mark comes. See the example. What is the meaning of this materialistic race called life? Second one, will the scenario ever change for better? Can anyone tamper with the pride and glory of our nation? See, these three are question, but we doesn't need answer. Poet doesn't need answer. It's to make us read it, have an impact on us, और सोचने पे मजबूर करने वाला. लाइक ये मेटलिस्टिक चीजें जो है वो क्या लाइफ है? इसे जिंदगी कहते हैं? तो उसमें आपको आंसर नहीं चाहिए पोएट को कि हाँ इसे जिंदगी कहते हैं, बट ये क्वेश्चन डालने के बाद हम सोचते हैं हाँ क्या सही है क्या? लाइक वी कैन लास्ट वन सी, कैन एनीवन टेम्पर विद द प्राइड एंड ग्लोरी ऑफ अवर नेशन? नो, वी विल नॉट अलाउ to anyone to tamper with pride and glory of our nation. We all know, we all love our nation, India. We all, whoever is belonging to nation, we have that feeling for a nation. Okay. So here we will not allow. This is not question. It is only making us think. क्या हम ये करने देंगे? नहीं, हमें मालूम है हम नहीं करने देंगे ये. Okay. We will not allow anyone to play with the glory and pride of a nation. It is but obvious. But सोचने पे मजबूर करना कि ऐसा हो रहा है दुनिया में या अपने देश में, क्या होने देंगे हम? तो इसके लिए आंसर नहीं, तो वो हमको सोचने पे मजबूर कर रहे हैं कि नहीं ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए. राइट. So that is the thing. In the above example, we find that rhetorical questions are asked to create a better impact. Here the question are not asked with the intention to get the answer, but to set us thinking. तो सोचने पे हमें मजबूर करना. ये क्वेश्चन का क्या रहता है? What we can say, its intention is that कि ये इंटेंशन रहता है पोएट का कि हमें सोचने पे मजबूर करे वो लाइन से. और वो बहुत इजी है टू फाइंड बिकॉज देयर इज अ क्वेश्चन मार्क. Interrogation is a figure of speech wherein rhetorical questions are asked not for the sake of seeking a response, but for the better poetic effect or better impact. Are we foolish to get carried away by these empty promises? See, question mark is there. Are we foolish? क्या हम बेवकूफ है झूठे वादों पे बिलीव करेंगे? नहीं, हम नहीं है, वो मालूम है हम नहीं करेंगे, बट आंसर के लिए नहीं, हमें सोचने पे क्या सच में हमने बिलीव करना चाहिए ऐसे प्रोमिसेस पे, तो ये हम सोचने पे मजबूर हो जाएंगे कि यस और नो. बट don't be so much confused at how I will recognize. It's easy. You can see there is a question mark after every example. Isn't this my native land? See question mark. So when the line comes with a question mark in the poem, it is a interrogation figure of speech. Understood? So it's not difficult. Rhetorical question, asking of a question, not for the sake of getting an answer, only to put a point more effectively. So why it is used? अगर क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं चाहिए तो क्यों डाला है ऐसा इंट्रोगेशन फिगर ऑफ स्पीच? क्योंकि पॉइंट को और इफेक्टिव बनाने. इंट्रोगेशन इज द आस्किंग of a question not for the sake of getting an answer, but to put a point more effectively. So this figure of speech is also known as rhetorical question. So here it is not for the getting seeking answer, but it is to make us think कि सच है, ऐसा करना चाहिए, चल रहा है ऐसा क्या? So question mark comes. Okay, that question mark comes in our mind also then. So it's very easy to recognize this figure of speech also. Now let us see few more example of hyperboles. The first one which we did in today's lecture or class was the hyperbole, where we know we are not lying, but we are exaggerating it, okay, to show the impact कि इतना बुरा लगा या इतना अच्छा था या ऐसा था, तो हम क्या करते हैं, हाइप कर देते हैं उस चीज को, hyperbole. See, now you can see this line, first line. There are lots of example I have put on the screen. Please you also read. Reading work is very important. Pay attention to the lecture. You are hearing my voice, you are seeing the screen, so your mind should read it. In your mind you can read. When I was young, I had to walk 15 miles to school, uphill and in the snow. Now see, these lines mostly parents use or we used for the students. हमारे जमाने में तो हम कितना चल के जाते थे, हम तो तैर के जाते थे स्कूल, और आप लोग स्कूल नहीं जा रहे हो. जब स्कूल नहीं जाते हो, बहाने करते हो, that time your parents must be telling you how much they must be working hard for you to go to school and how they used to go to school in the village. So much river and so much things. Now you can't go walking. So we exaggerate to show. I had a ton of homework, see, ton of homework, lots of homework. Okay, like if you are given a 2 subject or 3 subject homework in the class school time, you'll go and say I have tons of homework, to tell that exaggerating the thing. बहुत सारा homework है, like that. If I can't buy that perfect prom dress, I will die. See, this no one does and no one should do. But that dress is so important for her that she wants it. He is as skinny as a toothpick. The car went faster than the speed of light. Again, you see speed of light. Car can't go that much fast, but to show it's a so fast car, sports car. We all like that cars to see racing. Okay, so it was so fast, it came first in that race. So it was how fast? It was faster than the speed of light. So we are exaggerating it. This car costs $1 bazillion. No one has and no one will put so much in one car. Okay, we are so poor, we don't have 2 cents to rub together. So 2 पैसे भी नहीं है. हम बोलते हैं ना 2 पैसे भी नहीं है घर में. 2 पैसे ऐसे exaggerate करना. That joke is so old, and that the last time I heard it, I was riding a dinosaur. See, if you don't like the joke, you have already heard it, so you will say ये तो कितना पुराना है, डायनासोर के टाइम का है, तब डायनासोर पे मैं बैठता था तब का पुराना है. So it's an exaggeration. They ran like greased lightning. He's got tons of money. You could have knocked me over with a feather. Her brain is the size of a pea. My geography teacher is older than the hills. See, these all are the exaggerated hyperbole, which are not lie, but they are exaggerated to make a impact. यानी वो पतला होगा लेकिन इतना भी पतला नहीं कि टूथपिक की तरह हो. The person must be having lots of money, but tons of money is like exaggerating the things. Okay, तो बढ़ चढ़ के बोलना है hyperbole. Now let us see the example of onomatopoeia, where sound we make. The ship went ba. See, this poem I remember now when I read this ba, black ship, have you any wool? You must have done in your childhood, or you must have heard it somewhere or the else if you didn't have this poem also. Sometimes the poems are changed nowadays in syllabus. But when we were in school, that time we had this poem, ba, black ship. So that noise, sound, ba, we make from the mouth when we see this poem. So that ba is ship went ba. That is a onomatopoeia. The next line, see, you can see lots of examples with the dark letters. One word letters making a word dark one to show that is onomatopoeia. The second one I'm reading, the best part about music class is that you bang on the drum. Bang. The word makes a sound. It is not unusual for dog to bark when visitors arrive. Silence your phone so that it does not beep during the movie. Dad release a bleach from the pit of his stomach. The bridge collapsed, creating a tremendous boom. That sound, boom, it fell down. The dog said, "Bhav wow." See, bhav wow. This poem also I remember because my kids are also doing that poem in their class. Bhav wow, says the dog. Mew mew, said pig says grunt grunt. This poem I'm teaching my kid also. So these poems are onomatopoeia, where we make a sound and it has spelling also. BOW WOW. Wow, wow. But we make a sound when you say ना, खुद बोल के देखोगे तो भी sound आएगा. Are you afraid of things that go bump in the night? My brother can burp the alphabet. The bees and buzzer buzz. The car register popped open with the heartwarming cackling. The bird chirp filled the empty night air, chirping of the birds. Chew chew, chimney ka. Chew chew, ऐसा मराठी we say in Marathi. Chew chew, chimney. That chew chew is a onomatopoeia. The birds chirping. Okay. Now you must have got it. Now these are the opposite antithesis example where I said you two opposite words are used in the same line to create a better impact. See, give every man thy ear, but few thy voice. Man proposes, God disposes. Love is an ideal thing, marriage is a real thing. Ideal, real. Speech is silver, but silence is gold. Patient is bitter, but it has a sweet fruit, bitter, sweet, silent speech. Money is the root of all evil. Poverty is the fruit of all goodness. Evil, goodness, root, fruit. Okay? Money, poverty. See, these all things are opposite words in same line. You are easy on the eyes, but hard on the heart. Easy, hard. Right? These opposite words come. This figure of speech is also very easy, where you will read opposites, antonyms. Okay? So opposite word आएंगे. Black and white. Her life was black and white. अब ऐसा आया तो वो figure of speech कौन सा होगा? Antithesis. Okay? In and out went the air, breeze, in and out. थिक एंड थिन, अप्स एंड डाउन्स, ऐसे जो वर्ड्स आते हैं, अप्स एंड डाउन ऐसे वर्ड्स जो आएंगे एंटीथीसिस होंगे, अप इधर डाउन उधर, इट वेंट अप एंड डाउन केम, सो अप एंड डाउन वर्ड आए, ऑपोजिट वर्ड आए तो एंटीथीसिस, इजी डिफिकल्ट और हार्ड. So now exclamation, this is very easy figure of speech where you will see the exclamatory mark. It's again a expression of the emotion. What a beauty, brilliant, you solved the puzzle. Oh, I didn't see you come. Awesome, you won the game. These are explanatory sentences. What a piece of work is man. So we are now saying it not for the question, for expressing ourselves. What a piece of work is a man, is man. That means कैसे बनाया है, कैसा एक work है ये, इंसान कैसा है. What sweet delight a quiet life affords. How are the mighty fallen. How bravely he met his death. We all know he must have fought very well to save the country. So that soldier have laid his life, has fought. You all know. To express it, we are saying it. It's not a question. See, question mark has not come. Exclamatory mark has come. How bravely he met his death. So we are showing that emotion, telling it how brave that person was to do that, to lay his life, to fight till his death, to save his country. So such a brave person are born sometime in our, we have these soldiers who do this all, the people from the securities and all who do this for us. So we are so much expressing it like how bravely he met his death, that emotions we are expressing. Okay. Now the interrogation example. Am I my brother's keeper? Shall I, wasting in despair, die because of woman's fair? Who is here so wild that will not love his country? If you succeed, do you not rejoice? See, these are the things, question, but it's not for the answer. हमें इसके answers नहीं चाहिए. Question mark आए हैं, but इसका मतलब we don't want the answer. We are forced to think. हमें सोचने पे मजबूर कर रहा है ये line. If you succeed, do you not rejoice? Who is here so wild that will not love his country? Who is so bad here? Wild person will not love his country. That person is not good then, is not loving it. So that is making us think. कौन हो सकता है इतना बुरा जो अपने देश से नफरत करेगा? तो ये लाइन हमें सोचने पे मजबूर करेगी. ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? और ऐसे पर्सन है कौन? ऐसे. So we all love our country. So here this question is making us think that really we also are like that or what? Or who is such person? तो ये सोचने पे मजबूर करने वाले क्वेश्चन है. Okay? Like, are you crazy? Can you imagine that? So that is question where we start imagining. Yeah, we will start that thinking. That line सुनते ही थोड़े क्वेश्चंस और आने लगेंगे, थिंकिंग बढ़ जाएगी. यही काम है ये क्वेश्चंस का, हमें सोचने पे मजबूर करना. Okay, so poet uses that lines in the poem and they are very easy to recognize. See, question marks are there. If you poison us, do we not die? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Now see this line, like we know you have done something or we know we have done something wrong. So we are saying this line. We are not asking yes or no, we are ashamed or, but we have done something that we all know we should be ashamed. So aren't you ashamed of yourself? Then we start thinking, yes, I have not done well. I should be ashamed or I am ashamed. So that way it is forcing us to think. Okay. So these were the few today we covered up. Again, the figure of speech. Okay. So let us see what we covered up today. We saw hyperbole, which exaggerate the things, poetic device it is, lines. We saw onomatopoeia, where poet uses the sound words in the sentences for better impact. Then we saw antithesis, where we saw the two opposite ideas are placed together. When we saw exclamation, where exclamatory mark comes and it shows us the sudden emotions, right? And then we saw the question mark sentences, interrogatory sentences, which are rhetorical questions, which are not there for asking answers, but to make us think. So I hope you have understood this figure of speeches, right? Now let us see if we have more time, or we'll do the next ones in the next class. Okay. So figure of speech is a colorful way of expressing one's idea in an extraordinary manner, thereby creating a better impact. So poems are such that we love to read them. Such figure of speech make them more attractive, extraordinary, different than the chapter, different than the other things. Okay, so we will cover up few figure of speech in the next class.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, Vidya ma'am.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Yes, anyone have doubts? Sufian's Cyan MPS, unmute yourself, beta.
Teacher, I want to ask a question that is there any difference between antithesis and oxymoron?
Yes, there will be. We will be doing it in the next class. Okay. We will cover up, right?
Yes.
I will be doing tomorrow also few more climax, anticlimax, tautology, and oxymoron also we will do. Okay. I'll do it tomorrow. Please join it for the better examples and understanding. There are difference, and sometimes see like repetition and antithesis, alliteration also had a difference, right? So we'll do it. And I hope you have understood this 10 I have done in the 2 classes from the simile till today. Interrogation. Anyone else?
No, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes.
A very nice explanation. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Bye.
Rohini ma'am, can you join? Please unmute yourself.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
I'm sharing my screen.
Yes, ma'am. Can you start?
Yes. Hello, students. Good morning. Let us continue with the last lecture. In last, we have seen events and types of events and some related examples. Let us continue with that. Yes, in last lecture, we have concluded with event and types of the events. So, what is the event? The outcomes satisfying particular conditions are called as favorable outcomes. Students, in last lecture, I had given some examples also about event. Event is nothing but our favorable outcomes from the set of all possible outcomes, right? So we can say event is a subset of sample space. Generally, event is denoted by the capital letters A, B, C, D. Okay. Suppose if two coins are tossed, then all possible outcomes will be maybe two tails will be there or two heads will be there or there will be combination of tail, tail, right? That okay. So what is our favorable outcome? What is has been given in this example? If two coins are tossed and if A is the event of getting at least one tail, then favorable outcomes are means what is our favorable outcome? If we consider A as an event, then we can say A is the event of getting at least one tail. At least one tail means if tail is more than one, then also it is okay. So what we can write in the event A is equal to tail head or head tail, right? Because our favorable event is getting at least one tail means if the tail is more than one, then also it is okay. So we have taken combination of tail head tail or and tail together, right? So if we count this number of elements in this event, there are three elements. So sample points in this for this event will be NA is equal to 3. Okay, now let us move to the next slide. Types of the events. These also in last lecture we have seen very nicely. I'm just telling you some definitions about the types of the events. What is a certain event or sure event? An event which contains all sample points of the sample space is called a certain event. The sample space is a certain event. Students, in this, I have last time also I have given example. So many examples are there. I'm just giving one example. If you are throwing a die, okay, then sample space contain numbers from 1 to 6, right? And if my favorable outcome is a set of natural number from 1 to 6, then what will be coming in event? All the six number from 1 to 6 will come in the event, right? And in that case, I will say that this event will contain all sample points of the sample space, and then we can say that that event is a certain event. Now let us move to the next event, that is impossible event. An event which does not contain any sample point is called impossible event, right? Now suppose again if I have taken the same example, throwing a die, okay, then sample space contains sample points from 1 to 6, right? Means there will be 6 sample points. Suppose if I say my favorable outcome is a 0, okay? If I say my favorable outcome is 0, then my event will not contain any single element. Yes, and in that case, I can say that that event is a impossible event or null event or empty event, because my event does not contain now any element of the sample space, right? So I can say that that event is impossible event or null event or empty event. Let us move to the next event, that is simple or elementary event. Say definition or the name itself indicates that this event contains only one sample point, right? Now again, if you take the same example that throwing a die, means sample space contain how many sample points? 6. That is from 1 to 6, right? If I say I want only one number, any one of number in my event. For example, I want on the upper face number 1. Yes, I want number 1 or one dot on the upper face of the die as a favorable outcome, right? Then what I will write in the event? I will write in the event only one dot, that is number 1, right? In that case, my event contains only one sample point. So I will say that that event is an elementary or simple event. Okay. Now let us move to the complement of event. Let A be the, okay, I'm directly giving examples, then only you will understand better. Okay, suppose I'm giving the same example, like throwing a die. So then sample space will contain as is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Okay, now if I say A is the event that I want even numbers on the upper face of the die, then what will come in the event A? 2, 4, 6, because even numbers are 2, 4, 6, right? Because what is my favorable outcomes? I want the dots which are even dots to be appear on the upper face of the die. So my event A will contain 2, 4, 6 as a sample points, right? Now I will write complement A, complement of A. How will I write? See, now 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Yes, 2, 4, 6 are there in the sample space. Okay, other than this, which are the other elements? 1, 3, and 5. These are the elements of the sample space, but not elements of the event A are there in the complement of A. Right? Understood? So if I say if A be the event of the sample space, then the set of all those sample points which are in S but not in A is called complement of the event A. Are you understanding, students? See, I have written sample space for throwing a die, means I have written all possible outcomes, right? If I say my favorable outcomes are all even numbers to be appear on the upper face of the die, then what will come in the complement of A? The outcomes which are there in event A, okay, which are not there in event A, but there in a sample space are coming in a complement of A. Are you understanding, students? If you see event A dash or complement of A, you can see these outcomes are there in the sample space, but these are not the part of event A. Okay, and in that case, we can say that such event is a complement of A. Okay, now let us move to the next slide, not next slide, next event, mutually exclusive events. Now, what do you mean by mutually exclusive events? Again, we will take the same example for a throwing a die. For throwing a die, I will write the same example. All possible outcomes I will write as from 1 to 6, right? Now S is a sample space, right? Now I'm taking A and B, two events of the sample space. Now I'm writing A and B are the two sample space. Now I'm going to write the elements or sample points of the event A and B. Now, when I will say the events A and B are mutually exclusive events if they do not contain any sample points in common. Now, if I say A is the event, A is the event which contains all even numbers. A is the event which contains all even numbers. So what will come in the event A? 2, 4, 6. If I say B is the event which contains all odd numbers. So what will come in event B? 1, 3, 5. Now students see, there is nothing common. Yes, 2, 4, 6. Can you see here 2, 4, 6? Can you see 1, 3, 5 here? No. See, these are the elements of the sample space, but nothing is common. Yes, nothing is common between event A and B. Or in that case, you can say the event A and B are mutually exclusive events. See, look here, in event A and event B, the sample points which are there in event A and event B are the sample points of sample space also. But in between two, there is no common sample points. And in such case, you can say that event A and event B are mutually exclusive events. Okay. Now, let us move to the last event, that is exhaustive event. Now, what do you mean by exhaustive event? Two or more events are said to be exhaustive events if their union is a sample space. Now, we can take the same example here. Just now we have took the same example. Here I'm writing even numbers, okay? And here I'm writing odd numbers. Now, if you see event A, the sample points which are there in the event A are there in sample space also, and sample points which are there in event B are also there in a sample space. Okay, now you can observe from these two events that all the sample space event A and event B contains all sample points of the sample space. Means you can say if you unite together event A and event B, it is nothing but the sample space. Yes or no? So you can say if you unite event A with the event B, it is nothing but the sample space. Yes or no? So in that case, you can say that these two events are exhaustive events. Yes or no? Because when you combine together event A and B, you are getting sample space. Yes or no? 2, 4, 6 is there. 1, 3, 5 is there. So when you are uniting together event A and B, you are getting sample space. So in such case, event A and B are called as exhaustive event. Okay. Now let us move to the next slide. Okay, now we will see the example based on this concept, events and types of the events. Okay, students, types of the events is not part of our syllabus. Just for your information, I have given this extra information. Okay, now let us concentrate on the examples. Two coins are tossed simultaneously. Write the sample space and number of sample points, that is NS. Also write the following events in the set form and write the number of sample points in each event. Very simple it is. What we have to write first? Sample space and number of sample points, that is NS. So what is given? Two coins are tossed simultaneously. When two coins are tossed simultaneously, which are the possibilities? Which are possible outcomes? Either head come together or tail come together, or there will be combination of head and tail. So all together there will be 4 possible outcomes, right? So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, so a number of sample points will be 4. Okay, now let us move to the first condition. Condition for event A. What is the condition given over here? To get at least one tail. To get at least one tail means what? If more than one tail is there, then also it is okay. But at least one tail is required, right? Okay, so let us write samples. Let us write state for the event. We have considered event as a. Yes, it is given for this. To get at least one tail, we are taking event as a. Now let us write state for this event. What will come? We want at least one tail. At least one tail means if it is more than one tail, then also it is okay. Now you have to write this. You have to write this possible outcomes from the sample space, right? What you want? More, at least one tail. At least one tail means what? More than one tail is there, then also okay. Means it will come. This is also come. This is. Two heads are not, we are taking, right? Because we want at least one tail. So, are you understanding what we want? Yes, students. To get at least one tail. At least one tail means if it is more than one tail, then also it is okay. Are you understanding? So what will come? At least one tail. See, students, here one head is printed, but it is not like that. I'm writing separately here. What I want at least one tail. Then if it is more than one tail, then also it is okay. Okay, head tail will do and tail head will do. Okay, but head tail will not do. Understood, students? So how many possible outcomes are there here? 3. So you will write NA is equal to 3, right? Understood, students? NA is equal to 3. Got it? Okay, now let us move to the next, this condition for event B. What is condition for event B given? To get only one head. We want only one head. Okay. So how will you write? You want only one head. So this will not come. Head will not come. Head tail will come, or tail head will come. Tail will also not do. Understood? Why? Because we want only one head. So how many outcomes are there? 2. So you will write NB is equal to 2 because sample points for the event B are 2. So you will write number of sample points for the event B are 2. Okay. Now let us move to the next condition. Condition for event C, to get at most one tail. At most one tail means we want only one tail. We don't want more than one tail, right? So let us write event for condition this. Let us write event C. What we want? At most one tail. Means if it is more than one tail, it is not, we don't want. So this will not come. We want only one tail. So you can take head, tail, head. If 2 heads are there, then also it is okay. But more than one tail is not required. Understood? So how many sample points are there here? 1, 2, 3, right? So what will come? NC is equal to 3. Understood? Sample points for the event C is equal to 3. Now let us move to the last condition. Condition for event D, to get no head. Now we don't want head. Okay, we don't want head. So just concentrate on this sample space. We don't want head. So this will not come. Head, we don't want head. So this will not come. So what will come? Head only. Right? So what will write? Event D is equal to Tail only. So how many sample points are there? Only one. So I will write and day is equal to 1. Okay. Now let us move to the next example. A bag contains 50 cards. Each card bears only one number from 1 to 50. So bag contains how many cards? 50 cards. So sample space will contain how many numbers? From number 1 to 50, right? And what is given over here? Each card bears only one number from 1 to 50. Okay. One card is drawn at random from the bag. Write the sample space and also write the events A, B, and find the number of sample points in D. First of all, we will write sample space. A bag contains how many cards? 50 cards. So let us write how many possible outcomes are there? 50. So we'll write from 1 to 50. So sample points will be, total sample points will be 50. So you are writing NS is equal to 50. Now let us concentrate on the first condition. Condition for the event A given is the number on the card is divisible by 6. So what is our favorable outcomes? We want number on the cards which are divisible by 6. Means we want the numbers on the card which are multiple of 6. Right? But care should be taken that number should not be more than 50. It should be between 1 to 50 only, right? Because card bears numbers from 1 to 50, right? Now what we'll write as a favorable outcomes which are divisible by 6 or multiple of 6. So let us write this 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48. See, you should say what? Table of 6. Okay, but it should not be more than 50 because what is the last limit? 50. Okay, before 50 which number is there? 48, and which is divisible by 6, right? So I will write the numbers which are divisible by 6. Okay, but more than 50, but not more than 50 because our limit is up to the 50 only. Understood? So like this, if we write how many numbers are coming? 8. So these numbers are nothing but the sample points. So number of sample points for the event A are 8. Okay. Now let us move to the next condition. Condition for event B. What is condition given over here? The number on the card is a complete square or a perfect square. Okay, and these favorable outcomes you have to write from this all possible outcomes only from the sample space itself and not from anywhere else. Understood? So here if you concentrate here on the sample space, you will say that, see, look here, 1 is a perfect square. After that, which perfect square is coming? Yes, 1 square, 2 square. 2 square is a 4. 4 is there. 3 square, that is 9. 4 square, that is a 16. 5 square, that is a 25. 6 square, that is 36. 7 square, that is 49. And 8 square, what is coming? 64. 64 is there here? No. Okay, our limit is up to the 50 only. Okay, and here what is covering up to the 49 means up to the 7 square only it is covering. So we will write only this much perfect squares in as a favorable outcomes. So how many these favorable outcomes are there as a sample points? Yes, 7. So I will write number of sample points for this event and B is equal to 7. Okay, students. Okay. Now let us move to the next example. A sanitation committee of 2 members is to be formed from 3 boys and 2 girls. Write sample space as and number of sample points. Again, you have to concentrate on this. We want to form sanitation committee of 2 members, which to be formed from 3 boys and 2 girls. 3 boys and 2 girls. What we have to write? We have to write sample space and then we have to write sample points. See, let us consider how many boys are there. Which boys are there? B1, B2, and B3. And which girls are there? G1 and G2 are two girls. And we have to form committee of two members. See, there are three boys as a B1, B2, and B3, and two girls as a G1 and G2. And what we have to form? We have to form sanitation committee of two members, right? So, first of all, we will write all possible outcomes, okay, in a sample space. So, let us write that. What we will do, we will first of all take combination of this. If you consider this, what will come? B1, B2, okay, B1, B2, then B1, B3, right? B1, B2, B1, B3. Then we will come to this here, B1, G1, then B1, G2, understood? Then B1, G1, then B1, G2, then what will come? Then we will take this B2, B2, G1, then B2, G2, right? Then you will take B3. What will come outcome? B3, G1, B3, G2, right? Then afterwards, what we'll write? We will write G1, G2, G1, G2. Yes, understood, students. So what we have taken, we have first of all taken combination of this B1, B2, B1, B3, then B2, B1, B2, B3, like that. Several combinations are there. You can easily can write in the sample space. So if you count together, how many sample points are coming? 10, right? Now we have to concentrate on the condition now. Okay, let us concentrate on the first condition. What is the first condition given over here? A condition for the event A is at least one girl must be member of the committee. What is the condition given over here? See, what we have to form? Committee of two members. And what is condition given over here? At least one girl must be a member of the event. At least one girl means if there are two girls, then also it is okay, right? If there are two girls, then also it is okay. But at least we want one girl as a member of the committee, right? So let us write event for that as a favorable outcome as A is equal to what we want? We want at least one girl, as a member of the committee. Now let us see this. See here, both the boys are there, so it will not come. We want at least one girl. Okay, it will come, 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 it will come. If girls are at least one girl, but if it is more than one girl, then also it is okay. So these outcomes, possible outcomes will come as a favorable outcomes, right? So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Total 7 are there. So you will write as sample points of the event A as a NA is equal to 7, right, student? Okay, now let us move to the next condition. Condition for the event B. What is the condition for the event B? Committee must be of one boy and one girl. Now, what is condition given over here? We are forming the committee of two members. For that, what we want in the, what is condition given over here? Committee must be one boy and one girl. Means if it is there two boys or two girls, then it is not okay. We want at least, we want one boy and one girl. What is condition given over here? In the committee, one boy should be there and one girl should be there. If two boys are there or two girls are there, then it is not okay. So let us take that. What we want? One boy and one girl. So let us see in the sample space. One boy and one girl. See, both the boys are there. We don't want. Both the boys are there. Both the boys are. We want one boy, one girl. 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 Two girls are there. We don't want. Okay. So now count how many outcomes are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So these possible outcomes, write in event B as a favorable outcomes. So how many are there, these favorable outcomes or sample points? 6. So you will write number of sample points for the event B as a 6. Okay. Now let us concentrate on the third condition. What is the third condition? Condition given for the event C as committee must be of boys only. Now we are forming committee of two members, and what we want in the committee, we want only boys. Okay, we don't want girls. So again, concentrate on the sample space. What we want? Only boys. So we'll take this, this, this. We don't want girls. We don't want girls. We want only boys, boys, boys. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3. So write as a favorable outcome in the event C. Yes. So how many are there? 3. So you will write sample points of the event C as a 3. Okay. Now let us concentrate on the next condition. Condition for event D. At the most, one girl should be member of the committee. At the most, one girl should be member of the committee. Means we can tolerate one girl, but we can't bear more than one girl. Are you understanding? We can tolerate one girl in the member, but we can't tolerate more than one girl. Okay, so let us first of all again concentrate on the sample space. What we want? We want at the most one girl. Okay, so we don't want both the girls. So what is remaining here? Boys, 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 boys. Okay, at the most. If one girl is there, okay. Otherwise, if both the boys are there, then also it is okay. But we don't want both the girls. Understood? So this will come. Yes, both the girls we don't want. Right? So you can write how many these sample points are there. If we count together, only one is cut, mean 9 are there. Okay. So we'll write these are the favorable outcomes in the event G. Okay, so how many are coming? And the sample points of the event D is equal to 9. Okay, now let us move to the let us move to the next example. Two dice are rolled. Write the sample space as and number of sample points. Also events and number of sample points in the event according to the given condition. First of all, we will see what is given. Two dice are rolled. Okay, students, if when you are throwing a single die, which word you should use? Die. When you are throwing more than one die, the word is dice. Okay, so word is dice used here. Two dice are rolled. Okay, so first of all, write sample space for the two dice when they are throwing simultaneously or when they are rolled together, right? Now, you know, if we throw a one die, which are the possible outcomes from number 1 to 6, right? Now, this we have discussed in earlier lectures, so I'm not going to discuss it again, how this sample space forming. Okay, I'm writing directly sample space for throwing two dice together, right? So there will be total altogether 36 possible outcomes. So if you count this, what will come? NS is equal to 36. Now let us move to the first condition. What is the first condition given over here? Sum of the digits on the upper face is a prime number. Now, what do you mean by prime number? Yes, students, prime number is a number which has only two factors. Which are the two factors? That number itself and number 1. Okay, means prime number is divisible by number 1 and that number itself. Then it is called as a prime number, right? Okay, now let us find out which are the prime numbers from these all possible outcomes. See, look here. If you see 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2. So is it a prime number? Yes. What is the condition given you over here? Sum of the digits on the upper face is a prime number. If you see 1 plus 1, 2. So 2 is a prime number, yes. 1 plus 3 is a prime number, yes. 1 plus 3, 4. Is it prime number? No, it is not a prime number because see 4 has a factors more than 2. See, so it is not a prime number. See 1 plus 4, 5. Is it a prime number? Yes, because it has only two factors. Which factors? 1 and 5. So it is a prime number. See, 1 plus 5, it is becoming 6. Is it a prime number? Is it a prime number? No. 6 has a more than 2 factors. So it is not a prime number. Got it? Now see, 1 plus 6, 7. Is it a prime number? Yes, because it has only 2 factors, 1 and 7 only. Right? Now let us concentrate on the next number. 2 plus 1, 3. Is it a prime number? Yes. 2 plus 2, 4. Is it a prime number? No, it is not a prime number because it has more than 2 factors. 2 plus 3, 5. Is it a prime number? Yes. 2 plus 4, 6. Is it a prime number? No. 2 plus 5, next number. 2 plus 5, 7. Is it a prime number? Yes. 2 plus 6, is it a prime number? 2 plus 6 becoming 8. 8 has a more than 2 factors, so it is not a prime number, right? Concentrate on this. 3 plus 1, 4. 4 is also not a prime number because it has more than 2 factors. Four plus 2, 6. 6 also not a prime number. Again, I am saying it has more than 2 factors, so it is not a prime number. 4 plus 3, 7. 7 has only 2 factors, 7 and number 1 only, so it is a prime number. 4 plus 4 becoming 8. 8 is not a prime number because it has more than 2 factors, right? So 4 plus 5, 9. 9 is also not a prime number because it has more than 2 factors. Now 4 plus 6 becoming 10. 10 also not a prime number because it has more than 2 factors. Now 5 plus 1, 6. 6 also not a prime number because it has more than 2 factors. Now 5 plus 2, 7. 7 is a prime number, right? 5 plus 3, 8. 8 also not a prime number because it has a more than 2 factors. 4 plus 5, 9. 9 also not a prime number. Why? Because it has more than 2 factors. Now see, 5 plus 5 becoming 10. 10 also not a prime number because it has more than 2 factors. 5 plus 6, 11. 11 is a prime number. Why? Because it has only 2 factors. Number 1 and that number itself. That is number 11. Right? Now 6 plus 1, 7. It is a prime number. 6 plus 2, 8. 8 is not a prime number. 6 plus 3, 9. 9 is also not a prime number. Then 6 plus 4, 10. 10 also not a prime number, right? 6 plus 5, 11. 11 is a prime number. 6 plus 6, 12. 12 has a more than 2 factors, so it is also not a prime number. Okay, now so whatever we have take here, we have to take as a what? Favorable outcome. Understood? Okay, so if you count this as a favorable outcome, it comes out to be 15. So what we are going to write? The number of sample points of the sample of the event E are 15. Okay, students. Now let us move to the next condition. What is the next condition? Sum of the digits on the upper face, sum of the digits on the upper face is multiple of 5. What is condition given over here? We want sum of the digits on the upper face which is multiple of 5. Okay, now let us see this, which is multiple of 5. See, it will not come. It will not come. Will not come. We want sum of the digits on the upper face which is multiple of 5. See, look here. 1 plus 4, 5. It is multiple of 5, right? 1 plus 5, not multiple of 5. See, multiple of 5 means we will see the numbers which are in the table of 5, 5, 10, 15, like that. Okay. Now let us directly, first of all, see number 5 is there or not. 5, 5. Yes, here 5 is there. Okay, you can take this. Then after 5, we will see which number 10. First of all, we will see 5 number is there or not. Here, this number. Yes, this number, this number, this number. Next year, we will see this number 5. Then 5, 5, 5. Here, nothing is there. Okay, now we'll move to the next number. Which number? Number 10. Okay, number 10 here. If you see here, yes, directly here it is there. Number 10 is there. If you see here, this also number 10 is there. Okay, here everywhere more than 10 is there. So how many total numbers are there? If you see, total numbers will be 7. See, look here, how many numbers will be there? 7 numbers will be there, which are multiple of 5. The numbers, the sum of the digits on the upper face, which is multiple of 5, means the numbers which are there in the table of 5, and are, how many are there? 7. So our favorable outcomes are 7. So number of sample points for the event F are 7. Understood, students? Okay. Now let us move to the next condition. Sum of the digits on the upper face is 25. Sum of the digits on the upper face is 25. See, students, if you see from this to this, what is the highest number when you add this digit together? What is the lowest digit from 1 plus 1, 2? And if you see the highest, biggest digit, and if you add together, which is the biggest digit from 6 plus 6, 12. And what has been asked in this? Sum of the digits on the upper face is 25. Means 25 is not possible only. Okay, in that case, we can write nothing in this event. So what we'll write in event G? Nothing is there. Means it is an empty set or impossible set or null set. Yes, we have discussed earlier. So how many sample points are there? Nothing is there. So we'll write number of sample points for the event Z is equal to 0. Yes, students. Okay. Now let us move to the next condition, that is last condition. Digits on the upper face of the first die is less than digit on the second die. So again read this. Digit on the upper face of the first die is less than the digit on the second die. The number on the upper face of the first die is less than the digit on the second die. Are you understanding, student? The number on the upper face of the first die should be lesser than digit on the second die. Okay, now see what we'll write. See here digits are same, so we will not take. Here digit on the first die is lesser than the digit on the second die. Then you will see this also, digit 1 is lesser than digit on the second die. Similarly here also it will come, here also it will come, here also it will come. Now we will see this digit is bigger than the digit on the second die. Here it is same, so it will not come. Now here digit on the first die is lesser than digit on the second die. Similarly, digit on the first die is lesser than digit on the second die. Similarly here. Okay, now what is our condition? The digit on the upper face is lesser than the digit on the second die. So here digit is bigger, so it will not come, it will not come, it will not come. Here digit is lesser than the digit on the second die, so it will come, it will come. Again, if you see this digit on the first die is bigger, so it will not come, it will not come, it will not come. Here digit is bigger. Here digit on the first die is lesser than digit on the second die. Similarly here. Similarly, we will not take this. We will not take this. We will not take this. This will not come. Here, if you see digit on the first die is lesser than digit on the second die, so it will come. Similarly, digit on the first die, this is bigger, so it will not come, not come, not come, not come. And this will also not come, because what is our condition? Digit on the first die should be lesser than digit on the second die. So in this way, if you count this possible outcomes or our favorable outcomes, it comes out to be 15. Okay, so number of sample points for the event H will be 15. Understood, students? Okay, now let us move to the next slide. Okay, and now we'll start the practice set 5.3. Simple it is. Write the sample space as and number of sample points ns for each of the following experiments. Also write event A, B, C in the set form and write NA, NB, and NC. See, such a particular question carries 3 marks in board exam. So first of all, concentrate on the what is given over here. One die is rolled. If one die is rolled, so what will be our sample space? The sample space will contain numbers 1 to 6. Okay. Now, what is the condition given over here for event A, B, C? If you say event A, even numbers on the upper face. Yes. Even number on the upper face. Which are the even numbers? See, how many total outcomes are there? Yes, if we write total outcomes will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, how many sample points are there? 6. So you will write NS is equal to 6, right? Now, if you say even numbers, which are the even numbers? 2, 4, 6. So in the condition A or in the event A, what will come? 2, 4, 6, right? How many sample points are there in event A? 3, right? So you will write NA is equal to 3. Understood, students? Yes, this is a sample space, means all possible outcomes. When you're throwing a die, single die, you will write all possible outcomes in the sample space. Now, what is our favorable outcome? Favorable outcome is an even number on the upper face. Okay. Now, which are the even numbers? You have to select even numbers from this sample space itself and not from anywhere else. You have to write these favorable outcomes as a even numbers from this sample space itself. So these even numbers are 2, 4, 6. So you will write as A is equal to in curly bracket 2, 4, 6. And how many sample points are there? 3. So we'll write N is equal to 3, right? Okay. Now let us see the what is the next condition. Yes, next condition, event B given is odd number on the upper face. Again, you have to choose this our favorable outcomes from this sample space itself and not from anywhere else. Yes, what we want? Odd numbers as our favorable outcomes. So which are the odd numbers? Number 1, number 3, and number 5. Yes, number 5. These are our favorable outcomes. So you will write event B as odd numbers on the upper face. That is 1, 3, and 5. Right? 1, 3, and 5. So again, I'm writing all possible outcomes. I'm writing in the sample space. Now, what is my favorable outcome? Odd number on the upper face. Now, which are the odd numbers which are there in the sample space? This. So I will write 1, 3, 5. Okay, how many are there? These sample points 3. So I will write NB is equal to 3. Yes, students. Okay. Now let us move to the next condition. What is the next condition? Event C, prime number on the upper face. Now, just now we have discussed what is a prime number. Prime number means what? The number which has 2 factors. Which are the 2 factors? That number itself and number 1. Okay. So in an all, prime number has 2 factors, that number itself and 1. Okay. So we have to take these prime numbers from this all possible outcomes from the sample space itself. So again, let us write this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So even say I'm writing what I want. I want prime numbers on the upper face. Okay. So what you will write? See, number 1 is not considered as a prime number, right? Number 2. Okay. Number 2 has 2 factors, number 1 and that number itself. Number 3 also a prime number, right? How many factors are there? 1 and 3. Number 5, how many factors are there? 2. Yes, which factors? Number 1 and number 5 itself. Okay, so you will write 2, 3, and 5 as a prime number. See, listen, number 1 is not a prime number. Okay, is not a prime, is not a considered as a prime number. Okay, so how many numbers are coming as a prime number as a favorable outcomes? 3. 1, 2, 3. So you will write number of sample points of the event C as a 3. Yes, students. So you will write like this. Yes, students. Now we will continue in the next lecture with the next concept and with more examples. Thank you, students.